Hey everybody, how's it going? Today we're talking about I'm getting married to the girl I hate most in my class. Which, that, I'll be honest, I just love that title. Uh, yeah, I didn't know how I was going to feel about this one. It's one of those things where it's that basic high school anime with a weird premise. And the fact, I think the fact they're both in high school is kind of a little jarring, but on the other hand, under kind of having a vague understanding of Japan's declining birth rate and stuff like that, I can kind of see how this might get encouraged, you know. But I like the premise. I like the premise. The characters remind me a lot of Rama and Akane from Rama and Half. The fact that they kind of hate each other, but it's one of those things where I guess I should explain the premise first. So the premise of the story, there's a guy and a girl, Sato Hojo and Akane Sakura Mori. I know Hojo is a big clan in Japan, but I'm not sure about Sakura Mori. But anyways, they both have rich grandparents, which is how this stuff happens. Apparently, both of their parents are dead. I think. That's an epidemic in anime. Don't. that's a very big epidemic in anime. Dead parents. Dead parents are living abroad, but I'm pretty sure both of their parents are dead. The grandpa and grandma hated each other when they were young too. They both married. They both obviously married and had kids, and then their spouses died. Now I think the grandparents have gotten married together, and they look at their. Did the grandparents get married? Boy, this is getting really weird now that I'm saying this out loud. I didn't really register that when I first watched it. But yeah, I don't know if they're married or if they're just dating, but yeah, I'm pretty sure the grandparents are together. So these two are technically, I don't know if they're not, that's some ancestral math. I'm not, well, they're not step anything, I think, at least, because their parents aren't married. Their grandparents remarried. I don't think they're not step siblings. They'd be like second cousin? They're not related anyway, so I guess it's fine. I don't know. Yeah, I kind of forgot about that fact that the grandparents are kind of hitched together. They're forcing they're forcing Saito the guy and Akane the girl to basically, if Saito wants to inherit the company from his grandfather, he has to marry Akane, and if Akane wants to get it's a bit of a plot point, but not that big of a deal. If she wants to get basically her college funds from her grandma to be a doctor, she has to marry Saito. And after a little bit of reluctance and hee-hawing in the first episode, they both decided to do it. Which, I'm not sure how this plays on modern sensibilities, because really in the past, like not even just Japan, like in the past, marriage for love was a romantic fairy tale. You married because, you wanted to combine assets with another family, like for nobles, like adding land together, even for kind of peasants and kind of other folks, you married for resources, wealth and stuff. Marriage was very much a business transaction in the past, in a lot of ways, and a lot of ways it still can be. But it's kind of gotten, I'm not going to say away from the original premise, but it was kind of a commitment for different reasons than maybe we think of today. But and it was a lot more religious too, I guess. But in a lot of ways, marriage was kind of more of a business contract in a lot of ways. I know in a lot of things it always gets. I know in a lot of media, especially anime, it gets presented as kind of the girl's burden. But and I guess the trope is guys get mistresses, but I'm not going to go into that. The forced marriage aspect, I guess, is not really weird. There's plenty of other stuff that does it. So I guess the fact these two are in high school, which that's another thing too. Like I know some people might look askance to their ages because if they're in high school, if they're thinking about college, they got to be in 17 or 18, I guess. So I know some people would look askance to that, but you go back 100 years to the grandparents' time. 16 was kind of right marrying age. I'm not advocating for that to change or putting any bills for it. I'm just saying that's what it was. And this is another interesting, just as on a personal note. Not both of my grandparents. I guess I forgot to ask my dad's parents how they got together. They got together. They were both born 4 years apart in the 30s, I think. I don't quite remember how they met, but unfortunately, I didn't get to ask them that before they both passed away. But I talked about a lot of other things with them, but not that. I guess I never really thought about it. But my other grandma, my last living grandma, my mom's mom, she she told me when she first met my grandpa, he liked her. She did not like him. But my grandpa at the time, this would have been in 1950s, mid-1950s, because, let's see, Grandpa... I have two different generations of grandparents. So, basically, ones were born in the early 30s, and I think ones were born during World War II, because my mom's father... I'm trying not to say names. My mom's father was set to be drafted into Vietnam. No, he didn't get drafted. I think he volunteered, but he was set to be deployed to Vietnam, and then he ended up not going, but his brother went. My great uncle went. He survived. He's alive. Ironically, Mike is still alive, and my mom's father died. He died of complications. I'm getting into the weeds here, but yeah, their relationship didn't start out on the rockiest, but they still loved each other and had their kids and made a life together. I should probably ask how they got past at one point she stopped disliking him, but my grandpa was persistent, I guess, in pursuing her, so it worked out because I'm here now for it. But so these two are basically forced into conditional marriages. The grandparents be really, really cool gangsters and basically buy them a new house. I assume they're paying the taxes on it because these kids are still in high school and still going to school. So the rich grandparents are making all this possible, that's maybe not as fantastical as it sounds, because I'm sure there's a lot of people that live lives like that, actually. Trust fund kids are probably the best example. But these two hate each other. They kind of have basically different diopposing personalities. I don't know if I used the right word there, but the girl just doesn't like how slovenly the guy is. The guy is depicted as that lazy genius. The girl is a hard worker, so they kind of butt heads. But they end up into this marriage trap. Yeah, it kind of makes sense. They end up into this marriage trap. They have to follow the rules. Like they have to sleep in like the tiny. What's the size of it? Is it a queen size? Is it king queen? I guess I don't know the sizes of the beds offhand, but I assume it's a queen size, whatever the smaller one is. So they have to like sleep super close to each other. He can't sleep on the couch, and they're suspecting that the house is probably bugged or tap wired. So that's a lot of fun. I would be curious what the legal ramifications of that would be, but on the other hand too, I think technically the grandparents are these kids' guardians, so I don't know if there'd be any real court case there or not, but then again, I don't know if you can can you just inherit a company in Japan? I think you can. I don't know. That trope is around enough too, but I know there's a lot of laws about passing over ownerships of companies, I guess, but I guess it depends if you have the money to do it or not. Anyways, I keep getting sidetracked into that. I'm going to actually talk about the show. And I gotta say, I really love it. I find their dynamics really nice. I find the girl has like a prim and proper attitude. So every time she thinks the guy is doing she thinks he's doing something dirty, she goes off on like these wild tangents. And I find them really funny because everything she's like, she's like, you want to throw me down against the wall and just ram me. It's like, and the guy's just like, what the hell? Yeah. On the one hand, she is right. That is right. Every, just to make sure every girl knows, every guy does want to sleep with you unless they're gay. But every guy subconsciously does want to sleep with you, and most of the time, 90% of the time, including that last percent. But every guy has that fantasy. Most guys are going to be gentlemanly about it at the very least, or they're going to be too shy to talk to you. To be honest, that's going to be the big thing. Most guys are going to be too shy to talk to you these days, at least. But that's changing. I would encourage that to change. Don't be a Prince Clark, though, maybe, about it. That might lead to some lawsuits. I'm referring to Prince Clark from I Want to Escape Princess Lessons. I want to revisit that show again. I just recently did a video on that. And I just watched another few episodes, and I really love the development of it. So I'll probably talk about that one again here soon again. But getting back on to married a girl in my class I hate the most. Obviously, the premise of the story is they got married. It doesn't say I got married and we can continue to hate each other. They start living together, and there's button heads. Like the girl doesn't like violent video games, and the guy isn't the most appreciative of her cooking, I guess. But they're living together, and they're learning how to compromise, which I really love that actually. Getting past the forced marriage part. I think there is some lessons to be learned in the show of like, yeah, you can get together with somebody that you don't have to be 100%. I think it kind of comes from, I don't know if I want to call it the Disney Ever After effect or something like that. Because, there's a lot of things like on the dating apps, you find someone with the same interests and stuff like that. And it definitely helps probably to find somebody with a similar interest. I'm not going to call it a relationship at this point, but I got matched with the girl, and we've both been talking Snapchat. Our schedules haven't worked out to really have any real dates, so I'm not calling her my girlfriend. But ironically, we both kind of bake. I like to make pizza crust. I like to make my homemade pizzas. She's currently trying to make a sourdough loaf, which I didn't know until last night at 1 a.m. that that's a fucking pain in the ass. Making bread takes multi hours, but it's like I look up how to make sourdough. It's like, holy fucking shit! Why do you want to make this? It's like, oh, it's still gooey in the center. Is her problem? She almost burns the outside, and she sent me pictures. It's not like burnt, but it's like pretty close to being burnt. So, yeah, she's figuring it out though. She's figuring it out. Yeah, I should figure things out and go meet her. Oh shit. Oh no, sorry. I remembered an errand I had to run. I remember I was going to do it on a different day. But yeah. Anyways, so yeah, you can get together with somebody, and you don't have to have the same interests. You don't even have to really like the same stuff. Like, it's important if you're able to compromise. And I'm using my own parents as kind of a template for this too. My parents get along. They get along a lot better now, I think, these days. Obviously, when I was growing up, things were a little different. And it's not because they were bad. It's because of the situation we were in. Back then, money was a lot tighter, and that causes frictions. It causes problems, and then you got two sons, then you got 3 sons, and then you got a daughter, raising 4 kids, trying to run a farm, trying to work. It takes a lot. They made it through it. I'm not going to say it was all sunshine and roses, but it works out. Things work out. You get through it. The fact that you stick around and work through it is important, I think. But there were some rocky times. I'm not going to deny that. But at this point, if they broke apart, I'd just look and say, "What the hell are you doing?" But they're really enjoying having a grandkid now. Not mine. It's my sister's, but sister's still the baby of the family. She causes the most worry. Learn how to manage money. I don't care what your teachers tell you. Forget all the other math. Learn to do accounting and learn what the fuck expenses are and gross income. Learn accounting. Not just as a job, just learn fucking accounting. It will save you a lot of headaches. Also, don't have such refined tastes. Drive whatever you need to for a car. Don't be embarrassed to drive a 1990 Buick to work. Nobody gives a shit what car you're driving, except for people who aren't really into cars, and nobody gives a shit what they think. I got a cousin that has like a fucking Mustang Thunderbird. It's a pile of shit. It's a cool car. He's got it souped up, but it's a pile of shit. Where am I going with this? Oh fuck, this is a tangent. I'm reaching for the YouTube kid tangents. Anyways. So the animation of the show it's average. It's basically what you expect from a show that doesn't really have action scenes. They use a lot of chibi stuff. Now, I know a lot of people, I've heard recently a lot of other reviewers say chibi stuff is to cover up animation stuff. I love chibi animation. I love it when it switches from, I love it when it switches because a lot of chibi stuff is just funny. Now granted, I don't think all chibi stuff is funny, but I think for me, chibi stuff, I just fucking love it. Especially when they kind of use it to do a little more ridiculous situations. And I understand it's kind of an animation kind of simpler animation, and it's probably used to save the budget a little bit, but I love it. I love chibi animations. I love it when they're yelling at each other in their proper forms, and then they switch to chibi and they're just doing like a little fight scene or doing like a little character storyboard scene or something. I just love it. I just love chibi animation. It always gets a hoot out of me, so I'm a little biased in that. But the other 2 main characters are the blonde, I guess she's a Garu, but the blonde girl, who's Akane's friend. It's very much likely she has feelings for Saito, and doesn't know they're married. So that's gonna be some drama later. And then we have Saito's cousin, but she calls him brother. That's maybe just a Japanese language thing, to be honest, but her name is Chise, and she's kind of a quirky little girl. Like she stalks him at their house and makes Akane think there's a ghost, and then basically invites herself over for dinner and then reveals she was the one causing the problems. So that's she's cute. Her and Saito's relationship is that kind of anime related, very close relationship that's like, ooh, this isn't going anywhere bad, is it? Which, it's kind of one of those things where her character design looks younger, but she's technically the same age. But they do kind of admit that I got to figure out the family. There is a tragedy that happened in this family because I don't know where Chise's parents are. I'm pretty sure that is his cousin. So it's like, did 4 family members just die all at once? Were they on like a company plane and it fell out of the sky or something? Because this is kind of dark. It's like, but they were raised together, so they're chill family. And I like that, Akane and Saito are getting a little bit more civil with each other. They're kind of probably actually having relationships they're having actual feelings for each other. They're building an actual relationship. And they're working things out. And it's one of those things where it's fun to see the journey. You kind of know where it's going. Like, I don't expect the series to end with them getting divorced, but I really enjoy it. It's a very wholesome anime, and I would encourage everybody to check it out. I think there is a manga. There is a manga. I think I saw that when I was looking up the screenshot. But yeah, I encourage everybody to give it a look. It's a fun anime. It's those that laughed. I don't know if it's going to get a dub. I don't know if I really need one, but it'd be interesting. It has a lot of fast-paced dialogue, so you got to hit that right tone. But a lot of English actors do a good job sometimes, but sometimes they pick the wrong person. I'll say that much. But that's all for today. This will probably be released Wednesday. So y'all have a good day. If you want to check out my stuff, I'll have links below for my book on Amazon, Satan Saga the Black Beast. It's a Western gunslinging fantasy story with sword and sorcery. It's not quite it's kind of wholesome. I don't know. Anyways, I encourage you to check it out. The cover's probably going to change soon because it looks too much like a romance cover, so I'll be changing that soon here. But I hope you all have a good day. See you next time. Bye.